We good, Madam Chair?
Ready to go.
Okay. Do you want me to do?
So
the-
let's start with the recommendations,
Okay.
okay?
I'll call these in. I'll call these in for the record. BOA 1194620, 33 Bartlett Road, in Ward 2. It was deferred to 11/4. Case BOA 1190278, 252 Bunker Hill Street, Ward 2, approved of BPDA. BOA 1193432, 41 Monument Ave, Ward 2, approved. BOA
Mr.
1.
Ruggiero, do you mind just telling us what the intent of the appeal was? We don't need to go in through the violations, but what the
Okay, the
intent
purpose.
is,
Yep.
okay? Yep,
Sorry. Okay.
no problem.
So BOA 1193432, 41 Monument Ave. It was a roof deck, approved. BOA 1173917, 36 Baldwin Street. It was approved with BPDA. It was extend living space into the attic. BOA 1179009, 70 West Russell Street. It was extend the living space for the first floor unit into the basement. It was denied. BOA 1192874 with a companion case BOA 1194422, 123 Pembroke Street. It was roof deck, approved. BOA 1215852, 892 East Broadway. It was a pool in someone's backyard. It was approved. BOA 1126695, 168 Humboldt Ave. It was repair a building from a fire. It was approved with BPDA. BOA 1164411, 48 Boatwell Street. It was renovation of existing two-family with dormer, approved with BPDA. BOA 1157678, 41 Rockwell Street. It was a new addition. It was approved with BPDA. BOA 1180983, 24 Dodge Road. It was a one-car garage, approved with BPDA. BOA 1183955. It was a new porch in a bedroom addition. It was approved with BPDA. BOA 1190438, second floor addition. It was approved with BPDA. BOA 1198930, 10 Crandall Street. It was a third floor dormer. It was approved with BPDA. BOA 1184268. It was a renovation of a basement for a small office. It was approved. BOA 1184465, 11 Burtson Ave. It was a dormer. It was approved. BOA 1211162, 227 Manthorn Road. It was an addition to a single family. It was approved with BPDA. BOA 1190582, 45 Selwyn Street. It was to replace the second floor and remodel the second floor. It was approved. BOA 1197822, 130 Greeton Street. It was adding a new floor and rear addition to a single family. It was approved. BOA 1185823, 35 Foster Street. That was deferred to the 1019 committee, 1019 full board. And the last case was BOA 1208353, 200 Faneuil Street. It was moving a driveway and closing a curb cut and then opening a new curb cut, and that was approved.
May I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to accept the recommendation from the subcommittee.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We're all set. So now we're returning back.
I'm gonna call for 11:30 deferrals.
Madam Chair, could I just ask a quick procedural question? I apologize. This is just looking back at 25 Hillock Street, where it was denied. I guess, I mean, is there is that customary since they're not here, or is a deferment an option? I mean, I know we already voted,
No,
but
it's usually for process-wise, we deny without prejudice, which
Okay.
means that they can reapply anytime.
okay,
Because these no-shows do happen and they do happen periodically. And sometimes they do appear when we get close to the end of a meeting because of something has come in their way.
okay.
So we may reconsider it at that point. But
That's fine. The case is fairly,
questions, yeah.
the case is fairly de minimis and it was
know.
just support. Okay, thank you.
And it's around the corner from me, and I agree with you, but I don't know what happened.
Thank you. Nope, I just wanted to make sure. Thank you. Sorry about that.
All right. So going back to the 11 o'clock cases, calling the first case for 11 o'clock, BOA 1189433, 209 and 209A Endicott Street. Change of occupancy from 4 dwelling to a 5 dwelling unit, renovate and add a roof deck as plans. The violations are Article 54, Section 18, roof structure restrictions. Article 54, Section 10, floor area ratio is excessive. Article 54, Section 10, unusable open space is insufficient. Article 54, Section 21, off-street parking is insufficient. Name and address for the record.
Good morning, Attorney William Ferrullo, 28 State Street, on behalf of Michael Benetti, the owner, who's on this call, as well as Scott Trenner from Chu and Associates is the architect, also on the call.
So please, Mr. Ferrello, tell us what's being proposed. How is that 5th unit being created?
Yes, this building has been in the Benetti family for 3 generations. It had been a 5-unit building. It's a 5-story building until the 1950s, when the Benetti family decided to use the 1st and 2nd floor as a single apartment, thus making it into a 4-unit building. The plan is to separate the 1st and 2nd floor so that it goes back to 5 units, and to add a portion of the basement, which is 271 square feet in the basement, for an additional bedroom for the duplex unit, which will be part of the basement and the 1st floor for the owner's use.
So tell us about the floor to ceiling height in the basement, and tell us about the floor to sill height in the basement for that bedroom.
Yes, I'm going to do it in reverse. Floor to sill height in the basement is 2 foot 3 inches, I believe. Scott can correct me. That's the sill height. The head height in the basement will be 8 feet. What's happening is the current 1st floor height is 9 foot 11 inches. So what's going to happen is that floor is going to be raised so that the basement height is 8 foot, and then the floor above it will be 8 foot 2 inches.
And tell us, tell us about how the windows will work in the basement. Can you tell us which floor plan we should be looking at so Ms. Edwards can get us there?
I can jump in
Go
if
ahead.
you'd like. Scott Trenier from Arthur Chu's office. So here we have we actually want to have the A1.1 drawing in view. So the drawing to the left is the basement. We have an existing window which was infilled on the rear elevation at one point in time. We're planning on opening that out once again and putting a casement window in there, which would be the emergency egress window for that basement. The 2 windows to the right side of the building, which face the walkway out to the rear patio, are pre-existing sliders, and we just plan on changing those out to just update them because they're in poor condition.
And are the utilities separate for each unit? Where are they? I'm having a hard time.
Yes, the inspector at ISD actually noted that they were not shown on the floor plan, but the light blue area toward the front is common basement, and we will have tankless water heaters in that that will serve each one of the units for heat and for domestic.
Okay. And so if somebody was in that unit and they wanted to move from the first floor to the basement, how would they practically get furniture in there or something? Because it looks like I don't know how the space is accessible.
Sure, sure. So there are actually two access points from the front as well. We have the main common entry with a stair up and a stair down. In that location, the stair down is not very practical for turning furniture. But if you look at the first floor in the right side corner there toward the front, there is a stair down that goes directly down into that common basement area, and then in turn can go through the passageway into the bedroom to the rear, which will allow to get a bedroom set down there very easily.
And let's see, and tell us about the size of each unit.
Sure. So the proposed unit A, which is going to be the first floor in the one room in the basement, we have 821 square feet. The units above are pre-existing for the square footage, and the only thing that's going to be done with that is rearranging the program within the units. And those are all roughly around 560 square feet.
And so those are studios?
They're actually one bedroom units. They're pre-existing two bedrooms, as I recall. I can flip back quickly just to verify that. Yeah, they're pre-existing two bedroom units, and we're actually downsizing them to one bedroom units, which will make them much nicer and livable.
Okay, so the 4 units are 560, 1 bed, and the basement is 821.
Correct.
Okay, and tell us about the roof deck.
So on the roof deck, I will have a hard copy here as well. So on the roof deck, we have a pre-existing head house that goes up to the roof, which you can see in the photo on the last sheet, looking southeast down Endicott Street. You can see the adjacent building, which is only a 3-story building, so it's very visible as far as the pre-existing condition for the head house. The roof deck, what we're proposing is that be private for the upper unit. Since we were restricted as far as the pre-existing stairwell, it wasn't really feasible to have a direct door and incorporate that stair up right directly into the unit. So what we're proposing is a security gate, which will be lockable from the lower floor right outside the unit door, and only accessible for that unit. And the proposed roof deck is about 132 square feet and set toward the rear of the building. So visibility from the street, if any, would be extremely minimal since it's such a tall building.
And I will just assume they all have a second means of egress, and that will be covered when you go to ISD. How are the plans, Mr. Robinson?
The plans are good. I think that the proponent has explained the situation well. It is a basement unit, however, it's much lower to grade than we're typically seeing. And it does have the access point, as he's mentioning, for move-in. So no real questions on that. And I did have a question about the access to the roof deck, but thank you for answering that. No further questions.
Any questions from the board?
I believe the BPDA had raised some issues about rear parking and their recommendations. Can we see that?
Let's see, Mr. Ehrlich, I'm looking at the BPDA recommendations, and they're talking about removing the bedroom on the basement level due to.
I'm sorry, I confused, I mixed up too, you're
Yeah.
right. Yes,
Due to CFROD concerns. I don't-
yeah. Oh, but, Mr. Robinson, you're saying that the bedroom in the basement is at grade because it's a walkout?
It's not at grade. It's about, at least per the plans, it's shown about the sill height's about 2 feet above the floor. So it's not the traditional 44 inches so it's almost at a regular sill height from, my experience. So I think it's closer. It's not as high as what we typically see in these conditions because of but it is not a clear walkout. There's a little bit of grade there in the back.
Okay. Any other questions? Is anybody here to speak either in support or in opposition of this proposal?
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is John Romano from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This project has received support in the community, and at this time, we'd like to go on record in support of this project.
Madam Chair, members of the board, Paul Sullivan, for City Council at Large, Michael Flaherty, Council to go on record in support.
And Madam Chair, I have no raised hands at the moment.
May I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
All
Eric.
those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. You're all set. Good luck.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Madam Chair.
Okay, calling the next two cases, the companion cases, BOA 1183021 and BOA 1183236. 259 Gold Street in Ward 7. Violations, zoning violations are Article 68, Section 8, rear yard is insufficient. Article 68, Section 8, building height excessive in feet. Article 68, Section 29, roof structure restrictions. And then there's building code. Violation is 9th edition, 780 CMR 1011 stairways. Violation comments, roof access. Where a stairway is provided to a roof of 4 or more stories, access should be provided through a penthouse, not a hatch. Name and address for the record.
David should be on. Hi, David. Mary Lou, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Can you state your name and address for the record, please?
Sure. David Mary Lou, NATO Unit 4 owners, 259 Gold Street. I don't know if Doug Stefanoff is on. He's our architect. We just had a conversation with him, and just
Hold
due
on.
to some.
Hold
Go
on.
ahead.
Miss Ambassador, do you have
Oh.
Doug?
I do see him. Yep, he was on as a
Hold
panel.
on. I am here.
Go ahead.
Hi. Sorry about that. Hi, Doug Stefanoff here, 423 West Broadway, Suite 404, here for 259 Gold Street. Madam Chair, members of the board, thank you. Just
So,
quickly,
Mr. Stefanoff, so this, if I get this right, is a 4-family dwelling?
it is a 4-family.
And
Madam Chair,
has this project or this address been to the board in the past?
oh yes,
So tell us about that.
we came to the board some years ago for approval to build this new 4-unit building.
Okay,
It was an empty lot.
so this is a new 4-family. Were there
Yes,
any
ma'am.
provisos placed on it?
Yes, ma'am. But if I can just step back for a second, I just received some last minute information on lack of community support, which I didn't know.
Are you going to request a deferral then?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so may I have a motion for deferral?
Motion for,
I'll second that, Eric.
I too am, sorry, all those in support?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. It's been deferred. The date, please.
11. We have on November 9th at 12:30.
Okay,
All right.
so we'll see you then, Mr. Stefanoff.
Thank you very much.
Yes, please be prepared when you guys come back to talk through the initial approvals, okay?
Will do. Thank you,
Very
Mary.
good. Thank you.
Calling next case, BOA 1171485, 93 Brooklyn Road in Ward 11. Violations of Article 55, Section 9, front yard insufficient. Article 55, Section 9, floor area ratio is excessive. Name and address for the record.
Yeah, this is Royce Apel from 93 Brooklyn Road.
So please tell us what you're proposing to do.
Yes, we currently have a 3-story deck in the front of our property. The roof line actually goes over the deck, so it's part of the foundation and the roof, and we're looking to enclose it and work through the community and gained SNA is not opposing it, and the JPNC, we went through that and they
No,
supporting it as well.
we'll hear about that later, but
Okay.
can you explain through how many square feet it is and how you're proposing to kind of maintain that view of the street that may be lost with front deck enclosures?
Yeah, so the property itself, when you're actually driving down, that right-hand side already is it's kind of a weird existing wall. So when you're actually driving down Brooklyn Road, that's a one-way, that one right side wall and the right side elevation there, that's already existing, which is kind of strange. I'm not sure why that was done in the original construction, but it's there. So really what we're doing is adding a wall to the front face and then the left side of the construction to the building. Otherwise,
Tell us what drawing we need to go to see
you're-
what the front view will look like.
if you scroll down, right there. Okay.
Okay. How are the plans, Mr. Robinson?
Plans are good. No questions.
Okay. Any questions from the board? Is anybody here to speak either in support or in opposition of this proposal?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Would like to go on record in support of this proposal. 93 Brooklyn went before the Stony Brook Neighborhood Association, which they received full support. We echo their support as well. Thank you.
Madam Chair, I have no additional raised hands, but Annabella's, okay, yep, I have no additional raised hands.
Okay, so may I have a motion, please?
Motion
I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Calling next case, BOA 1005452, 22 Mount Bowden Terrace in Ward 14. Violations, Article 65, Section 8, 3-family dwelling is a forbidden use. Article 65, Section 9, lot size is insufficient. Article 65, Section 9, floor area ratio is excessive. Article 65, Section 9, height is excessive in stories. Article 65, Section 9, front setback requirement is insufficient. Article 65, Section 9, side yard is insufficient. Article 65, Section 9, rear yard is insufficient. Purposes to erect a new 3-family dwelling with 3 parking spaces. Name and address for the record.
Good afternoon. My name is Stuart Schreier. I'm an attorney with an office on Dorchester Avenue. And I'm here because my client is seeking to build a new 3-family house. This is Mount Bowden Terrace, which previous to this had a lot of vacant lots on it. My client's owned this property since at least 2008, and it's been sitting there vacant. The houses shown here to the right and to the left do not yet exist. This is what we suspect may be built. The lot to the right is vacant and the lot to the left is vacant.
So why do you suspect that that's going to be the building form?
We've tried to follow along with what other neighbors are proposing.
Okay.
So
And what is the zoning district here?
it is a 2F 6000.
Okay, and what is the lot size?
The lot size is 5,000 square feet according to the city tax bill. And according to our surveyor, 5,008 square feet. It's 1,000 square feet short.
Okay, so you're proposing to build a pretty regular triple decker then?
That is correct.
Okay, so can you walk us through the proposal and talk through the violations?
Sure. We have the lot width that's normally required in this zone is 40 feet. We have a very wide lot. It's 57 feet wide. So we have a wider lot, not quite as deep as we would like. And that's the shape of the lot that's inadequate. The first, second, and third floor will be each apartments that will contain 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. And my client at this time is thinking of these as rental units. He is planning on building them and renting them out. The first floor will have additional living space within the basement. When we get to the further plans, you'll see that the slope, this is Mount Bowden Terrace, the land slopes away to the back. It will be a completely walkout basement, and there will be 2 windows, 2 double windows to one side. There'll be a single window and a double window to the other side, a large window in the back, a double window, and a walkout basement. So there's at
So,
least
Mr. Schreier, I'm already kind of having, can you back up? Yeah, Ms. Edwards, to that first floor and basement plan. I'm kind of having a little worry here because I want to make sure that this doesn't turn into a plan for down the road having a unit in that basement, because it looks like it's may possibly being set up for that.
Well, there is no kitchen down there, and you can put a proviso in that will never be expanded into a 4-family.
You know, I would much prefer that this board gets a confirmation at the very beginning, because we know that provisos sometimes are enforced and sometimes are not. And we just want to make sure that inadvertently this doesn't end up being a 4-family dwelling. When the intention, especially if there's a new streetscape being developed, that it is in essence and it's true to being a 3-family, despite the fact that this is a 2-family zone. So, I will just put that out there for now, but please then proceed with the rest of your explanation.
Sure. My client tells me he has no intention of doing that. What I can never say is what's going to happen 20 or 30 or 50 years down the road.
And sometimes we worry that it might not be that far into the future, that it might be 2 or 3 years into the future. And, you know, so anyway, let's just proceed with the rest of the building, and then we'll come back to this, okay?
We could reduce the size of the finished area in the basement if that would make the board more comfortable.
Yeah, because I also have to figure out what is the step up, because it doesn't look like there's a handicapped unit here, because my quick glance, oh, I guess you have the ramp on, but do you still have stairs into that unit? So, I mean, you'll just have to explain all that to us so we have a better understanding of what's being proposed.
Okay, so each floor will be about a little under 1,200 square feet, 1,150 square feet or so, with the exception of that first floor, which will be about 1,500 square feet. The total square footage is going to be 4,137 square feet of living space. There is a need for family-sized units. We do have a lot of two-bedroom apartments in Dorchester, and there are many families that do require 3 bedrooms. So that is really going to fulfill a need for families. The floor area ratio that's permitted in this zone is 0.4. This building will be close to 0.8. It's still under a 1 floor area ratio. The allowable height, the building height is 35 feet. The building height will be 33 feet, 6 inches. The reason that we have a violation is 2.5 stories are what's allowed in the zone, and this will be an actual 3-story building. The front yard setback is supposed to be 15 feet. We're at 9.6. when you look at the other houses on the street, that's what the average streetscape is. Most of the houses are not set that far back. In order to minimize that, there are no front porches except for a little Romeo and Juliet balcony on the second floor. But the traditional three-decker front porches have been eliminated. Side yard setback is supposed to be 10 feet. On one side, we have 8 feet, and on the other side, we have 18 feet. So that's the side with the driveway has 18 feet. And there'll be 2 parking spaces in the side yard and 4 parking spaces behind the house. The rear yard setback, the requirement is 20 feet. We have 22 feet. It was cited for rear yard because the parking is in the rear yard. So the rear yard is occupied by the parking. Do you see the way the slope drops off so that you have full-size windows in the basement?
Okay,
And
so let's go back to the parking, because this is advertised as a 3-family with 3 parking. So can you tell us what sheet the parking plan is on, so we
If you
can
go-
just understand it in context?
It's, sorry, it's up, I think the parking was at the top. Bear with me. I will pull up the parking myself. L1. Right there. You can stop right there. Oh, there you go. So you can see that there are 2 parking spaces to the right, and there are 2 more parking spaces in the back, but they're tandems. So those would normally be used by 1 unit. Each unit would have a tandem spot. So if the occupants had 2 cars, they could park them there. But when you have tandems, it's really inconvenient for them to be owned by different units. So
Okay.
it's really essentially 1, 2, 3, 4 real parking spaces, but 2 of the back ones could be used as tandems.
Okay, okay. How are the plans, Mr. Robinson? Because, I see that this building provides a ramp plus step-ups.
Yeah.
And so I just need you to talk through this, because I think you and the board shares the concern about basement occupancy or, inadvertent transference into a unit in the basement.
I totally agree. And I think those are my questions. That honestly, the scope and the 3-family and the size I don't have an issue with that. And I do understand the walkout is a full walkout, so that is also accurate per the drawings. And I don't understand the ramp up, because I think there was a way to manage that differently. And I don't understand the connection between the Unit 1 main floor and Unit 1 basement, because there is no internal stair shown to the unit. It's only the common area stair that seems to be going down. So there is some questions what's drawn in terms of the scope, but I think the general sense is I think it's accurate, but I do the same questions that you asked I have in my mind too.
So, Mr. Schreier, do you have a response, or shall we just leave that there? Because I think, let's just leave them there. Let's just find out if there are any other questions from the board. No more questions? Okay. Let's go and see if there's anybody here to speak either in support or in opposition.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. Denise DeSantos here from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. We would like to go on record and support the applicant. They've worked with Direct the Butters and the association, and they've met with them a few different times to change and revitalize these plans. So we would like to go on record and support them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I have no raised hands at the moment.
Okay, may I have a motion, please? Sounds like we designed to.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to support or approve, sorry, a 3-unit building, I think with, obviously no 4th unit, as part of the proviso, I think it would be, great if the BPDA could work with the proponent on, reevaluating the ramp and access point to the first floor unit. And then I think there should be obviously plans showing the connection between, the main floor and the lower level, but I'm generally okay with that there is bedrooms on the lower level if it's consistent with the unit above due to the grade.
Right, and if there's a connection between the basement and first.
Well,
Okay.
excuse me, that just sort of seems like being redesigned. I mean, they're not showing a connection, so how can there be?
Well, Mr. Eric, I mean, I agree. I think the volume that is being proposed, I'm okay with. I think the unit 1 needs to be redesigned to have the connectivity of a continuous duplex unit, correct?
And I also think that, we need to make sure that the BPDA understands that maybe the building does not need those front access stairs. So
Agreed.
that in fact, that there is no, additional height for that basement, floor to ceiling height in that basement.
Yep.
Does that make sense for you, Mr. Ehrlich?
I mean, I would,
I know it's a
I mean,
redesign, but we're trying to get to our end goal of agreeing in concept that a 3-family is good, but trying to make sure that there is no maneuvering to get a 4th unit there or,
Yeah,
other stuff.
I mean, that's why I actually feel more comfortable with Ms. Robinson's initial motion to just say the proviso is that it remains a 3-family unit and leave it at that.
Well, but that doesn't take care of the issue of that, the steps up that provide the floor to ceiling height to make that additional space, accessible and meeting building code requirements. So,
I'll leave it at that.
okay,
yeah, and I personally would rather see this get deferred and come back with something that
so I
is
know that
exactly what we
Mr.
want it to be.
So I know Mr. Robinson is trying to make us all happy here. So let's see if we can, because my sense is that, okay, I mean, I'm fine with whatever the motion is, as long as Mr. Schreier is clear in his understanding of what our intention is.
And we
So-
will ask our architect to do that. In other words, it's Roach Christopher Architects. They're very competent. We'll go back to them and point out the concerns, and we'll ask them to revise those plans accordingly.
So can you get the drawings back to us in 2 weeks? Let me just ask, and so that we can hold signature until we have the revised plans?
We absolutely will do that.
Okay, so how's that for a response? Does that make, address everybody's concerns? And
Yes.
we will hold signature until we have the plans. Okay. And so what is the motion? The motion is to approve a design review for 3 units, and we will hold signature until we see plans.
And I think design review, particularly related to the front entry ramp and the stairs up, I think that needs to be reconsidered.
Okay. So there's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion
Aye.
carries. You're all set.
Thank you.
Okay,
Excuse me, Madam Chair, this is Tom. Was there any opposition to that motion?
was there any opposition? No. Any opposition? No, motion carries.
All right, calling next case, BOA 1191809, 34 Gwyneth Street in Ward 18. Violations of Article 69, Section 9, front yard insufficient, Article 69, Section 23, Neighborhood Design Overlay District. Purpose 20 by 20 addition to existing structure, basement, first floor, and second floor. Name and address for the record.
This is Chris Paravas, the architect working with the homeowner. My address is 49 Appleton Street, Melrose, Mass. 02176.
So please tell us what's being proposed.
Okay, so we have, there's an existing two-bedroom, single-family home that's being enlarged to a three-bedroom home with additional living space on the first floor, basically a family room and additional bathroom, which they currently do not have. The square footage of the existing home is 1,243 square feet. The total with the proposed addition is 2,119 square feet, which is an addition of 876 square feet.
Okay, and tell us about if this is there proposed living space in the basement?
There is not.
Okay, how are the plans, Mr. Robinson?
Plans are good, no questions.
Any questions from the board? Is anybody here to speak either in support or in opposition of this proposal?
Hi, good afternoon, Madam Chair. I apologize for my video not being on right now. Danielle Fonseca with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Our office would like to go on record in support of this proposal. An abutters meeting was held on July 8th, 2021, where many neighbors that were in attendance expressed their support. Our office has received no testimony in opposition of this proposal, and we believe that it will not negatively impact the community, as the applicants are just looking to add the addition for their growing family. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. This is State Representative Rob Consalvo, representing the 14th Suffolk District, Hyde Park, Rosedale, Reedville, and West Roxbury. And I'm glad to be here today before you to strongly support this application. I've known the applicant for many years, and I know exactly where this is located. We also have received no opposition in our office at all. And I also know that the applicant worked very closely with the Parks Department and the Conservation Commission, as he lives across the street from the Sharon Woods Conservation Land, and had to go through some more review as part of that process. And I know we fulfilled that successfully, and so here to strongly support this application.
Thank you.
I'm sure I have no additional raised hands at the moment.
May I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve with BPDA design review, and I think there's not really a site plan associated with it, and focusing on the landscape or site plan with the owner.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Good luck.
Thanks for your time.
Calling next case, BOA 1209461, 29 Priscilla Road in Ward 21. Violations of Article 51, Section 9, floor area ratio is excessive. The work was started under a short form permit. It was then realized that there was more work that needed to be done. I mean, a long form was needed to be done, and the scope of the work includes to finish a basement to include a bedroom, a bathroom, and common space. Sorry about that. Name and address for the record. Jonathan Katz. Okay, I'll move on to the last case at 11 o'clock.
I mean, hold on, Mr. Secretary. It looks like he's here. Miss Ambassador, any luck with him? Can you unmute him, please?
Yep, 1 second. This is Jonathan Katz. It should be on. Give me 1 second. Jonathan Katz. Yeah, he's on as a panelist. It's not giving me the option to unmute him, but he is on as a panelist. He might be having some connectivity issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
You guys will work on that. So, okay, let's go on to the next case.
Okay, calling next case, BOA 1140570, 21 Broad Street in Ward 3. violations of Article 8, Section 7, cannabis use cannabis establishment dispensary use conditional. Article 8, Section 7, any cannabis establishment shall be sited at least 1/2 mile away from another. Purpose is to change an occupancy from a restaurant and bar to a cannabis dispensary, an interior renovation of a 5-story building located at 21 Broad Street for Rasta Roots LLC. Name and address for the record, please.
Do we have an applicant on this?
I don't have any names. All I have is Rasta Roots.
Miss Ambassador, any luck?
Nope, I don't see, I'm sorry, no. Oh, I have it. I'm sorry, hold on 1 second. Fernando Beck, give me 1 second. Okay, sorry, we're still having the same connectivity issues as well with Fernando. I can't unmute them.
Okay, let us go to the 12:30 cases. Oops, I guess not. We have to wait for 7 minutes.
Yeah, it's not 12:30.
Yeah, so, if there's anything you can do, Miss Ambassador, for Mr. Katz and for Rasta Roots, please.
Yeah, I'm trying on my side. For some reason, I can't, they're on as panelists, but I cannot, okay, nope, that's Eric. I can unmute other people, but I cannot mute Fernando, or Jonathan Katz. I don't know where and they're both sending me messages saying that, they're here. They can't unmute themselves. I don't know if they can call in. Trying to see. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do. I'm not sure why it's not allowing me to unmute them.
This is a message to Jonathan Katz and to the representatives of Rasta Roots. Can you guys call in, please, and see if that might work?
Okay, he's saying he's gonna call in. He just sent me a private message.
Okay,
as well. Yeah.
excellent.
When you do call in, if you could just press *3 so to raise your hand. I'll send you. I'll put the call-in number and access code in the chat. And again, once you're on, if you could just, there's a few callers on, if you could just press *3 so we know. It should be *3. Let me just unmute a couple people. Okay, caller 26, is that you? Are you Jonathan? Caller 36, caller 38, caller 39, caller 40, you vote. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Okay. Is that you, Jonathan?
No, this is not Jonathan. This is Ty Gomes with Greenlight. We're
Okay.
just trying to help Fernando get on so he can present.
I unmuted all the callers. Is it caller 38? Can you just speak if you're on, Jonathan? Seven, eight, five. I don't see that number on the call list. Okay, I'm sorry, Madam Chair. I have everyone unmuted and I'm not getting. Okay, so he's trying again.
So when we hit 12:30, Mr. Ruggiero, let's go directly to the rediscussions so that'll give Miss Thomas time to do what she needs to do without us kind of hanging over her, okay?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Can you guys still hear me?
Oh, we got someone. Yeah.
Okay. Who are you? What is your name?
My name is Tyrone Gomes. I was going to try to patch Fernando in on a three-way call. Just wanted to make sure that you can still hear me before I attempt to do that.
And what we'll do is
Okay,
go ahead, do what you need to do. In the meantime, if anybody's here for 12:30 who's going to be requesting a deferral or a withdrawal, please send us a message in chat so we can just get it keyed up.
Fernando, are you there?
I'm here. Can you guys hear me now?
Okay, saved by a minute. Go ahead. Mr. Ruggiero,
Sorry
please.
for the.
Okay, let me, hold
My
on
name's
one second. Fernando, hold on 1 second. Let me just call the case into the record. Calling BOA 1140-570, 21 Broad Street in Ward 3. Violations of Article 8, Section 7, cannabis establishment dispensary use is conditional. Article 8, Section 7, any cannabis establishment must be cited at least 1/2 mile from another existing cannabis establishment. Name and address for the record.
My name is Fernando Mullings. Our address, the location is 21 Broad Street in downtown Boston. Good afternoon.
So tell us, let's jump right to the chase. This is a cannabis dispensary that you're proposing. Tell us the square footage.
Yes.
Tell us, we'll pull up the maps for the layout. Tell us how it works. If I was a purchaser, how would I enter the building and and give us the hours of operation.
Yes, ma'am. So the square footage is 4,500 square feet. 3 of the floors will be accessible to our customers. If you came to our dispensary, you could schedule an appointment or you can order online. If you wanted to walk in, you would be able to do that as well. when you first arrive, you would have your ID checked electronically with one of our security officers outside. Then on slide 2, I believe it is, you can see, it might be slide 3 of the first floor where you can see actually I see it. It's on the lower left side. You can see the waiting vestibule. Once you entrance that first door, you will check in, have your ID also verified there. And then depending on what you came for, when you actually went for your point of sale, we would check your ID again. So there would actually be 3 points of ID verification. Our hours of operation will be Monday through Sunday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. These are hours that the BCB deemed okay for Boston. We feel those hours would work as well with that area because we wouldn't be adding any extra traffic to rush hour in the morning or in the afternoon.
Okay, so your sales space is what is the square footage for sales space?
For sales space, meaning the 3 floors that customers will be able to go on?
So explain to us how the other floors are going to be used.
So there's a stairway on the left. So the first floor, the 3 floors will all essentially be the same. It's just more space and a different type of design, but anything you can do on the second or the third floor, we'll easily be able to do on the first floor. To access the second and third floor, you would use the stairs on the left. We will have security set up so we're not having any conflict with people going up or down the steps. But everything that you can do on the first floor, you'd be able to do on the second and third. It's just a bigger space because we'll be able to actually self-queue because the building used to be a restaurant where I believe the capacity was over 400. We never plan on having that many people in the building, but being able to know that we can self-queue inside and not have to worry about lines outside or anything like that. I've been dealing with the area now for going on 19 months, so.
Okay, so hold on.
Yes, ma'am.
So say that I've purchased online and I've just come to pick up. Tell me how that would work.
We would check your ID at the front still with security. And then when you go to the check-in window, you would let them know that you placed an online purchase. So I'd check your ID again. Then we allow you in to the first floor where you would either pick up on the first floor or the second floor, depending on how you ordered.
Okay. So this building is not handicapped accessible then?
It is, ma'am. So our first floor, we will have a ramp. Like I said, the bathroom, we will have a public bathroom for our customers that is in the back, on the back left. There's also a private area back there. So if someone is handicapped and wanted to come in and more so talk about the products that we have because they might not know what they're looking for, we will have the space for that as well. We really want to make it a more intimate experience with cannabis in Massachusetts, and that's kind of what we're going for, where people could ask questions if they don't know what they're looking for, because that's definitely a thing when it comes to cannabis, especially with it being so new in the state of Massachusetts.
So the ramp is in the rear then? Am I reading this plan right?
No, ma'am, it's in the front. So the front entrance, it's a double door on the right that will be handicap accessible. Right now, the way that the door is set up with the existing building, the entrance to it is in the center. We have double doors that are actually on the right that they have not used. It might have been a handicap accessible entrance prior, but that's going to be our main source of entrance into the building.
Okay, and tell us about your deliveries.
So we share an alleyway with 75 State Street that is actually fenced off, and they actually have a security officer that will be there that's there all the time. Our deliveries will be during off-peak hours, scattered throughout the week. We have spoken with and met with the local police department down there. They have a copy of our security plan. We've been in touch with them, and we plan to continue to do so during construction for any kind of suggestions that they may have, and obviously when we're open.
And did I see a roof deck up there?
Yes, there was a roof deck. It's just a regular plain roof. We don't, at this time, we don't have any plans to do anything. That we just wanted to make sure that all the pictures for the plan were in what we presented.
Okay, and your security area for storage, etc., is that in the basement? Where is it?
That's going to be on the 4th floor, so we won't have to worry about anyone accidentally trying to get into that level, because that level will be off limits to the public. We do have a dumbwaiter, so we'll be able to actually shuttle product up and down the dumbwaiter without any interference with having to worry about going up and down the steps. So that's something that we know we're blessed with, and it's set up right where the vault will be. And you can see through the pictures, it goes all the way down to the 1st floor.
Okay, may I have Miss Delaney Hawkins on? Leslie, can you please tell us about what is it the 1 mile, is this the half mile from Friend Street, or is it the half mile from which facility is this 1/2 mile, within 1/2 mile? Ms. Ambassador, can you unmute Miss Delaney Hawkins?
Absolutely. I thought I made her a panelist. 1 second. Leslie, are you? Okay. Leslie, I'm sorry, you've been unmuted.
Jessica, can you hear me now? Sorry, I was having trouble.
Yeah, which facility is this within 1/2 mile of?
It is within 1/2 mile of the Verdant on State Street, which is at, I believe, 150 State Street. And I believe it is just within a 1/2 mile of Patriot Care on Milk Street.
So, you know what? It's so weird. I just don't remember approving 150 State. Okay, so how far is it from 150 State?
I do not have the exact.
We are.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I have the exact number. It's 221 feet, 0.69 feet. They are under construction as of right now. They're not yet licensed. And then with the Milk Street, we are 888 feet away. And as of right now, they're only medical. So they're actually not recreational. I have seen that they are.
They will, Milk Street, okay. Milk Street will be expanding into recreational because we approved that already.
Yes, Madam Chair, this is Leslie. They have commenced recreational operations just within the last few days. So they are co-located, recreational and medical, and the 150 State Street is co-located manufacturing.
So please, medical, Milk Street is medical and recreational, and how many feet away is it?
888, ma'am.
888 square feet. And Ms. Delaney Hawkins, it's not as the bird flies, it's as one walks, right?
For the purposes of the 1/2 mile buffer zone, it still remains lot line to lot line, as opposed to the state's updated language on the school buffer zone. So the 1/2 mile buffer zone in the city zoning code is still measured lot line to lot line.
Okay. And then the 150 State is still a proposal. It has not hit this board yet, right?
Actually, I'm going to ask Jasmine, who's our project manager. Jasmine, has 150 State been heard by the ZBA?
Mark, do any of you guys?
I recall 150 State. I thought that was
fairly certain, Madam Chair, that it was heard. It was former City Councilor Tito Jackson's second location.
Okay.
It was for co-located recreational and manufacturing.
On 150 State, okay, and how far is that again?
That is 221 feet, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so
on a different street.
Okay, so Ms. Delaney Hawkins, you know, what is the plan? Is the plan for the zoning code to be adjusted so that in fact there is some zones where it makes sense for these facilities to be closer proximity to each other than others? What is the plan? What is the long-term plan?
I believe, I can't speak to the ordinance that was recently passed that I believe is going to the zoning commission, but in terms of the BCB's deliberation on this applicant, the chairwoman noted on the record that this is a high-traffic commercial area and that naturally you will see
I think that philosophically, there's a way that we can understand this density in downtown. But this does put us at odds when we are in the neighborhoods, you know, and so I just need to make sure that there is an understanding of that fact that, you know, the downtown with its different paths, its different occupancies on the weekends and the foot traffic, etc. You know, there's a different standard, I think, than downtown, than the neighborhoods. But again, to reiterate, it does put us as the board in an awkward position when there is just, you know, straight requirements regardless of where you are. Okay, so I've kind of made my 2 seconds. How are the plans, Mr. Robinson?
The plans are fine. I do think they have a larger accessibility issue that I don't quite see resolved in this issue, in these plans. The access and the double doors that appears he's referencing go right into the stairs, and then I think there's just 4 levels and 2 of them are publicly accessible. So I believe he's got a larger MAAB issue here, but that's maybe a side point. But the plans are fine.
Any other questions from the board? No, hold on. No, hold on. Any other questions from the board?
Well, I don't have a question, I have a comment. I intend to abstain on this vote. I feel that we have been put in a ridiculous position. There have been shifting sands in terms of what the criteria are from the city council, from the mayor's office, from the county.
Mr. Ehrlich, I think you faded out on us.
Oh, no.
Please go ahead, try again.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I intend to abstain from this vote because I feel we've been put in a impossible position with the shifting guidelines and directives from the city council, from the mayor's office, from the cannabis board, from the state measuring rules that are constantly changing. There was a absolute buffer area. Now the buffer area is gone. And I think that it is unreasonable for us to have to adjudicate these kinds of issues. So I'm not going to vote one way or another. I feel like the city needs to establish some consistent guidelines so that we can follow them.
And I agree, and I think we all agree with Mr. Ehrlich. We tend to be the whipping boys or the whipping people for these shifting sands where we just end up being in the targeted because really the buck stops with us. And there's nothing that's clear. There's nothing that is satisfactory. And in fact, you know, we end up being the only spot where there is any kind of checks and balances that is that works on this, you know, because either we have the community in dead opposition and we have the Cannabis Control Commission doing their checklist to make sure it meets X, Y, and Z requirements, but is not land use based. And then we are honestly caught in the middle because there is nothing going on in there. No meeting of the minds regulatorily so that it makes our lives clearer and makes it clearer to the general public what the intention is. So anyway, is anybody here to speak either in support or in opposition of this proposal?
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is John Romano from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This project received overwhelming support from the Wharf District Council, and as the only council in the area, they have been in constant contact with the applicant as well as the others in the area. At this time, our office would like to go in support of this project.
And we have a letter in support from the Wharf District Council, and we have other letters of support and some letters of opposition as well.
Thank you. What is the opposition based on?
The buffer zone, that there's one at 150 State Street.
Okay. Anybody else to speak
Hello?
either in support or in opposition?
Good afternoon. Oh, sorry.
Good afternoon, Madam. I just want to hear from elected officials, representative elected officials, and community members. Everybody else, please be silent.
Good afternoon, Madam of the Chair, members of the board. Ana Calderon from Councilor Flink's office. The councilor provided a letter sent to the board this morning, and the letter states, the councilor has met with the proponents of this dispensary and understand the proponents has conducted a community process and met with its neighbors. The proponents made commitments to its neighbors that it will meet the standards of the community in terms of quality of life and security. This proposal has also previously received a letter of non-opposition from the Wharf District Council, and also received a support letter from the civic groups this week. Thank you.
Hello. Hi there. My name is Key Lee, and I am the Senior Property Manager of Rock Hill Management, and I represent the ownership group of 75 State Street, which abuts 21 Broad, and we are in opposition. 75 State is an 840,000 square foot Class A office building and headquarters to many companies such as Santander Bank, LEK Consulting, and CDM Smith. And we have a 6-level car garage that is used by our tenants, business visitors, and families and tourists coming to Faneuil Hall. Many of my tenants at the building are in opposition to the store, and some have submitted letters of opposition as well.
Yes, but thank you, Mr. Lee, because we do know that this is a use and consumption is legal, so we understand. So anybody else to speak either in support or in opposition?
Madam Chair, I have no raised hands, surprisingly.
Yes, we do.
We do. Oh, go ahead. Who is that?
This is Ari Gill. I'm the president of Ari Boston Inc. We are a high-end fine mint store serving the financial district and the surrounding business and the residential area for the last 24 years. We have a strong opposition to this to the cannabis dispensary next to us. We are at 15 Broad Street, and it is going to be next to us in a small courtyard. And we are afraid that it's going, beside of being nuances for 75 State lobby entrance and our own entrance in the same small area, it will cause a lot of loitering in the area. We do have a problem with people coming to our door to find 15 Broad Street, which has a sign. Just, I'm not sure what we are going to do if we'll have dozens of people opening our doors to us directions. We do not have time. We have to take care of our own customers. I think it's going to be difficult for the surrounding area.
Thank you.
Stores and fine restaurants.
Thank you.
And then we'll have.
Thank you. Anybody else, Ms. Ambassador?
I'm sure I have no additional raised hands.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
Madam, could I
Is there a call? May I have a motion, please?
I'd like to make a motion to approve with BPDA design review for the signage.
And to this petition only?
This petitioner only, yep.
Is there a second? Come on, peeps, let's go.
Second, Tyrone.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I
And we will-
abstain.
And we,
I'm opposed, Jean.
Jean's opposed, okay.
I think we need to be consistent with our buffer zone.
Jean is opposed, motion carries. Good luck. Okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
And you've heard about the concerns from the abutters, and I'm sure that you will make sure that you have, they have no reason for future complaints. And Mr. Laney Hawkins, and I noticed that, who else was on? Somebody else from the commission, Ms. Joyce, that everybody will make sure that this works smoothly. So thank you.
Madam Chair, can I add, sorry, I was on mute. Could we add a proviso for no MAAB building code relief for the accessibility needs of the building?
Yes, and whoever second, is that okay?
That was my motion. I accept that little amendment.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, okay, okay. Please put your voice in, Miss Dong, so we know everything's good. Okay? So that is the additional proviso that no relief on handicapped accessibility. Okay, next case, please.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Good luck.
Okay. Are there any deferrals or withdrawals for 12:30?
What's the address? Can you please, Mr. Katz, don't worry. We'll
Mr.
get
Katz, I'll
back to
get
you.
to it, yep.
We'll get to you.
Any deferrals or withdrawals for Kylie? You have a deferral or withdrawal for 12:30?
I know 117 Coleridge was an administrative deferral. Is that in? Do we have a note on that?
I was gonna go to that, yep.
Okay.
Yep. I got an administrative deferral for BOA 1133499 117 Coleridge Street, East Boston. Needs to be re-advertised. Can I, a
Okay,
motion?
may I have a motion?
I'll make a motion for deferral.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries. The date, please?
It will be September 21st at 12:30.
Thank you.
Any other deferrals or withdrawals for 12:30?
I just want to test my audio. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Jonathan, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
all
call you.
right.
I'm gonna call you.
I'll go
Casey
back
right
to
now. Yep. All right. Calling case BOA 1209461, 29 Priscilla Road in Ward 21.
Okay.
Violation was Article 51, Section 9, floor area ratio is excessive. Name and address for the record.
Jonathan Katz, 29 Priscilla Road, number 2 in Brighton, Massachusetts.
So, Mr. Katz, tell us, is this a one-family or a two-family?
This is a 2-family.
Okay, and tell us what's being proposed.
To expand the living space in the basement.
And is that of
Bathroom
unit,
and bed,
is that of unit 1 or unit 2?
unit 2.
So unit 2 on the second floor will have a bedroom, bathroom, and common space in the basement? Is that what's proposed?
Correct. Unit 2 has 60% of the basement, and we are proposing to expand the living space.
I don't know if this actually theoretically really meets the definition of expansion of a unit. Is it directly connected to the second floor?
Correct. Through a staircase in the back.
And so you can go directly from the second unit into the basement without accessing any common space?
That's correct. It's currently used as storage space for Unit 2 specifically.
Okay. And then tell us about that basement. What's the floor to ceiling height in there?
It's a little over 7 feet.
It's 7 feet. And tell us the floor to sill height in that bedroom.
That will be 24 inches above the floor.
To sill is 24 inches. Okay. Mr. Robinson, can you help us out on this and just, how are the plans?
I mean, the plans are as he's indicating, you know, I'm a little unsure because I think, I guess I understand what's happening. There is a kitchen and pantry called out in the basement as well. If you go to the basement plan, is that being removed or what's, I guess
That's unit 1. Sorry, let me try and unpack that. That would be unit 1.
Okay, got it.
So the
So there's some notes.
pantry is unit 1. Yeah. And then it's like unit 2 is like an L from the left side down to the bottom over to the right, excluding the utility and common area.
So the 7 foot, I think, is inadequate for even habitable space in a basement. Anyways, I think it needs to be 7'6". So is this?
Mr. Katz, can you tell us why you need this expansion into the basement? Because, you know, you can tell that, you know, there are a number of issues that we need to deal with. Can you tell us what the compelling reason is for you to expand into the basement this way?
Yes, I have 8 children.
I'm
I have
sorry?
8 children. I have 8 children, thank God, and aging parents and a disabled sister. And I want to be prepared if, God forbid, we would need to house any of them.
So the question then becomes, how is that basement space handicapped accessible then?
Well, it's not handicapped accessible.
Okay.
Mr. Robinson, do we have any elevations that show the relationship of the basement to the grade?
We don't. It is called out on Plan A3, which it indicates it as 24 inches above the floor, but I mean, in my sort of review of the existing building, I'm not sure that's exactly right. It feels like maybe it might not be quite that. And then if we also have an actual height issue down there, you know, then it would exacerbate that issue, obviously, if they have to dig out even further because of building code.
I thought 7 feet is permissible for a 1 and 2 family, but not 3. That 3 has to be 7'6". It's not right.
Again, Mr. Ehrlich, you're correct. You're right. Sorry about that. Yes, correct.
Okay, but that doesn't resolve the.
It doesn't resolve the height to grade issue. Yes, correct.
Yeah, okay.
So, Mr. Katz, have you thought about moving your family to the first unit and then expanding into the basement?
Right now, we actually like the view from the living room. So
I mean, I guess that's the balance between comfort and view that you and your family need to make, because there is, this connection is causing us worries.
What is the egress out of the basement?
What is the question? Can you repeat the question?
What is the egress out of the basement? How do you get out?
Okay, so on the left side, there is a door, as you can see, in the proposed basement plan on the left side. On the left side of the proposed basement section, it says there's a door. Yep, right there. And then up top, if you go to the upper left-hand corner, that staircase actually goes straight up to the second floor. So while there's a landing on the first floor, which exits out the back door and then down, it's like a landing porch.
So that door on the bottom left, is that there must be steps up to the grade, correct? How is 2 feet below grade?
When you say below grade, you're saying from the actual land down?
Yeah.
You know, I
So let me
I'm
just
not-
ask, we're spending a lot of time trying to decipher these plans. What would make this workable if we deferred this? What additional information would we need that would take away any of your questions that would be more directly responsive to what we need to know?
Well, having elevations would certainly help.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had a land survey done.
May I
that-
have a motion for a deferral, please?
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with the second floor apartment going into the basement. I feel like the relief goes with the property, and that's, especially in Brighton. That can be a very troubled unit.
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion for deferral, just to, maybe it's eligible.
I'll second that motion because I think there's enough confusion in what was being proposed in terms of the drawings, but also the reasons why. So I will second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The date, please?
November 9th at 12:30.
Okay, so we'll see
I'm
you
a,
then.
I'm a little
Mr. Katz.
confused.
So,
What is it exactly?
So please, take it, can somebody from ISD please help this applicant, okay? In the meantime, let's move on.
What was the information that was confusing that needs clarification?
We need, elevation plan, drawings. so that
Sections.
we understand sections, so we understand what's being proposed. And you still need to think through about this connection of a second floor to a basement. I think you might have heard, and you're welcome to listen to the tape again, what the concern is about connecting, about those connections, okay? So let's move on to Chelsea Street, please.
Okay, calling the next two cases, the companion cases, BOA 1133502 and BOA 1133546, 411 to 413 Chelsea Street in Ward 1. Zoning violations are Article 53, Section 11, two-family detached use is forbidden. Article 53, Section 56, off-street parking and loading. Article 53, Section 12, FAR. Article 53, Section 12, rear yard setback. Article 53, Section 52, roof structure restrictions. Article 27G, East Boston iPod. And then for building code, we have violation 9th edition 780 CMR 1030, emergency escape and rescue. Rescue openings from bedroom shall open directly into a public way, yard, or court that opens to a public way. And then another code is 9th edition 780 CMR 704, exterior wall openings. Name and address for the record, please.
My name is David Choi. I'm the architect representing the applicant Hugo Rango. My address is 25 Wellington Street, Arlington, Massachusetts.
Okay, Mr. Rango, you may not be familiar with our processes, but we start off with dealing with the building code violation. Tell us whether you have a response to that, or if you do not and you still want to proceed with requesting building code relief.
Madam Chair, I believe that the latest design will not violate the building code because we are actually setting the walls back from the adjacent abutting buildings, thereby eliminating the windows that are within the 5 feet encroachment of the next door building.
Okay, so a couple of questions for you. So in other words, you're not requesting building code relief? And the second question is to find out if Mr. Robinson does have the updated plans.
I do have the updated plans, and I do see where the sort of windows are set back. But so, Mr. Choi, do you what's your response to Chairwoman regarding? Do you still need the zoning, I'm sorry, building code relief?
No, I do not believe that we need the building code relief. We will set the building walls where there are required windows to be 5 feet away from adjacent building.
Okay.
May I have a motion then for denial?
Motion to deny building code relief.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion carries. Okay, so please, can you tell us about your proposal?
Did we miss?
So tell us about your need for zoning code relief.
Oh, I apologize. I was having internet issues. Dear Madam Chair, members of the board, there is currently living space above the bar at 411, 413 Chelsea Street. We're in a neighborhood shopping sub-district. And the proposal is to extend the existing second and third floor plates to the back of the sight line. We are requesting a relief to increase the floor area ratio from 1 to 3. We will not be changing the footprint of the original building. We will also create a second means of egress to the back sight line. Additionally, there is public parking right in front, as you can see. And
So let's get some more detail on the units. So the 2 units, what will be their proposed square footage and how many bedrooms will they have?
We're looking at 2-bedroom units, approximately 1,200 square feet each.
1,200 square feet. Is there a roof deck proposed?
There is not a roof deck on top of the entire structure. There will be a roof on top of the back of the bar where you will require a second means of egress for the second floor unit as well as for the third floor unit to egress out.
Okay, and that's going to be at the rear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and of course, there is no parking. How are the plans, Mr. Robinson?
Plans are good. I just have 2 quick questions. Do you have the bar seems to be a walk-up. Is there an accessibility issue associated with that, or is that a existing condition? I mean, I know it's kind of a hard condition.
I don't think we can touch that because that's not what's before us.
Okay, fair point.
The other
Yep. No. So my only other question is, I just wanted to confirm. You said 2-bedroom units. It looks like the second floor is a 3-bedroom unit. I just want to make sure I got that, and the other one is a 2-bedroom. But I don't have any issues with the rear access, and that's all below on top of the lower level bar. So only the clarification of the units. That would be my only question.
Okay, and then we just have a question about loading. If somebody is moving in, how will loading occur?
Currently, there is a side alleyway which is going to be maintained. And if you go to the first floor, there is a back entry for the bar use, and so that side egress alleyway will be maintained to be used as a service entry as well. This was the original proposal before we met with the neighborhood, and we're actually narrowing the building because there is currently a cantilever over the bar, and we're going to correct that issue. We're going to take the building footprint and just extrude it up vertically and reconstruct the front as well.
Yeah, if you go to A5, you'll see that this is the new.
Okay. And then the other question is, being over the bar, I mean, maybe because this is not South Boston, but, there's always concerns about noise, et cetera, intruding on the residential use. Will there be any muffling or baffling so that, in fact, the residential uses will be protected?
I will ensure that the floors will get the proper fire rating as well as the STC required. It'll exceed STC 50, which is minimum for residential separation. And I recommend upwards to STC 90 because there is a bar use. But at the residential separation, I recommend STC 50.
Okay. Any other questions from the board?
Yeah, I mean, that's a very lively bar, to put it kindly. So I would just hope that these renovations could really spruce the place up and, be more to the neighborhood.
Okay. Is anybody here to speak either in support or in opposition of this proposal?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Our office would like to go on record in support of this proposal. During the community processes conducted by Lena, the applicant went before the Eagle Hill Civic Association and received their full support. Thank you.
Madam Chair, I have no additional raised hands.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve a BPDA design review.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And-
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Okay, calling next case, BOA 1160394, 39 Dustin Street in Ward 21. Violations of Article 51, Section 8, three-family dwelling is forbidden. Article 51, Section 9, floor area ratio. Article 51, Section 9, building height is excessive in stories. Article 51, Section 9, rear yard is insufficient. Article 51, Section 56, off-street parking, design and maneuverability. Article 10, Section 1, limitation of area of accessory uses. Article 51, Section 9, side yard insufficient. Article 51, Section 9, front yard insufficient. Confirm occupancy as an existing two-family dwelling. Construct a new three-story addition with decks. Change of occupancy from a two-family to a three-family. Name and address for the record.
See John Walsh on the call. Not sure if anyone else is on for him. Oh, there's Mark. Mark, are you representing John?
Yes, I am.
Okay, go ahead. Just made you a panelist. Go ahead.
Sorry about that. Yes, good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. This is 39 Dustin Street. We seek to create a three-family.
Please put your name and address on the record so we know who you are.
Mark Sangiolo, architect, 9 Sketchaconnet Way, West Harwich, Massachusetts.
So tell us what's being proposed.
We are proposing to turn a two-family building into a three-family building. 39 Dustin Street. We were before the board last month, and I thought we were doing really well. We got to a point, though, we didn't have a plot plan. I apologize for that. So now we've included the plot plan with this proposal.
So just first of all, confirm to us that this is a two-family, and how is that? Is that through meters, or do you have occupancy as a two-family?
Yes, I believe it is 2 meters and has occupancy as a two-family.
Okay, so just tell us then how you're proposing to convert it to a third unit?
Yeah. So we're adding to the right side, which is the east, and to the rear, which is the north. We're adding to the right about 10 feet and to the side about 10 feet and to the north about 8 feet. And we're making a 1 unit on each floor. Each unit will be 3 bedrooms. They range in square footage from 1,220 to 1,472. The design intent of the building was to scale it down as much as possible to make the third unit in the top floor built into the roof, so it fit into the residential character of the neighborhood. If you go to drawing A1, you'll kind of, it's a context sheet, and you kind of see the character of the neighborhood. The existing building is that white house in the middle bottom, and then if you go back to the T1 title sheet, you'll see how the character of our building kind of is the same or very similar character.
So I'm a little confused. So that gray building is okay, I see it. Okay, got it. Okay. Tell us about the parking, because you are cited for parking and loading, both for design and maneuverability. So tell us how the parking is proposed to work.
So if we go to C1, sorry, that's the second page. That'll have the plot plan.
So you knew it would come in useful, right?
Yeah, yes. I apologize. We all thought it was in there and it just was not. So what we're proposing is the driveway in the same curb cut location and then 3 parking spaces on the right. They called it tandem in the zoning violation, but it's really parallel parking. And it may be it may not meet the exact maneuverability requirements that the zoning requires now, but I think a lot of these maneuverability things are getting a little bit smaller because people can drive smaller cars, et cetera, et cetera. I did test this out on my 2 cars, the same dimension parking spaces, and it's no problem parallel parking in this in these dimensions.
And so the buffering between this proposal and the neighbor will just be a chain link fence?
Well, it's an existing chain link fence, but I think what we'd like to propose, and I'm not sure if it's shown in these drawings, is a 6-foot high wood fence. The neighbor on this side is fairly close to the lot line. I'm guessing maybe 6 feet, 6 or 7 feet. They have no windows on their side on that elevation. There are some trees on that side. They're Norway maples. They're not in great shape. And I know that's an invasive species. So what we'd like to do, we're probably going to remove those trees and plant a nicer tree in the right corner and a nicer tree in the front corner of the property. We did not show a landscape plan. We have a landscape architect in-house though. And we'll be providing.
Let me see if I understand it. So you're proposing the 3 parking spaces on the right, and what happens at the rear of the property? Is there an extra spot all the way in the rear?
No, there's not. It's just really you pull forward and then so you can maneuver the parallel parking into the last space.
I see. Okay.
And then we're removing there's an existing garage there. We're removing that. The entire rear yard will be a landscape area.
Okay. Usually when we see something that says engineering and people say they have landscape architects on staff, we are curious about that and interested in that. So if you're before us in the future, please include your landscape plan so we understand completely what you're proposing to do. How are the plans, Mr. Robinson?
The plans are good. I do, I am a little bit worried about the parking. So I think, and just the buffering associated with the adjacent property. So I think we should consider if this gets approved, we definitely should make sure there's BPA design review for the site planning. No other questions on the proposal.
Any questions from the board?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, is it a 2-family dwelling or a 1-family? Do we have existing floor plans? Because it looks like a 1-family. And then
It's a proposal to convert a 2 to a 3.
Yeah, it looks like a 1, 2, and 3, but I guess that's my question.
Yes, and that's what I was trying to understand, but the representation is that there are going to be 3 bedrooms, 1220 to 1472 square feet. Okay.
There are not existing drawings associated with at least that I have, so I can't confirm that, but yes.
Okay. Is anybody here to speak either in support or in opposition of this proposal?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services, Lincoln Record in support of this proposal. Mayor's Office conducted a butters meeting on December 2nd. There was a mix of opinions expressed by butters at the time. The applicant went on to the Brighton Allston Improvement Association, received their support,
and our office so far has only received one letter of opposition, which I believe we've shared with the board. Thank you.
Good afternoon. This is Maura McCrae from Councilor Braden's office. Councilor would like to go on record as being in support of this project. Thank you.
Annabelle, you're unmuted.
Madam Chair, members of the board, Annabelle Gomes from the Brighton Austin Improvement Association. I'd like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Annabelle, by any chance, do you remember if this has come to the board before?
No, there's just been a few others on Dustin Street, but it's not this one.
It's not this
It
one,
gets
then?
confusing, yeah.
Yep, got it.
Madam Chair, I have no additional raised hands.
I have 2 letters of opposition in the folder.
And what does the opposition state? Anything that we've already covered?
One is saying that it's converting a 1-family to a 3-family and too dense. And the other one is the same.
Okay. May I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve with BPDA design review for the site planning and I guess confirmation that this is we don't have converting from a 2 to a 3, not from a 1 to a 3. I don't know if that's a proviso, but
And for a significant screening and buffering?
yes, correct.
Okay, so is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any, may I hear your voices, please? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I oppose.
Motion carries. So we have on the record that Mr. Ruggiero has opposed. Okay, next case, please. Good luck.
Calling case BOA 1172461, 171 Everett Street in Ward 22. The violations are Article 51, Section 56, off-street parking insufficient. Article 51, Section 8, 4-family use is forbidden. Article 51, Section 9, total lot area insufficient. Article 51, Section 9, floor area ratio is excessive. Change of use from a single-family building to a 4-unit building with addition per plan. Name and address for the record, please.
Jing Mai, 41A Symphony Road, Boston, Massachusetts, 02115. I also have with me is my architect, Paul Yu, at 135 Lincoln Street, Boston, Massachusetts.
Okay, so tell us what you're proposing to do.
Yes, today we're proposing converting a single-family use to a 4-family on Everett Street in Boston. The approximate square living space is about 5,000 square feet. That's an entire building. It will have 4 parking spots, 4 tandem park. Is it tandem? 2 and 2. 2 and 2 tandem parking spots. And each unit's going to be 2 bedrooms.
So tell us about how this is going from a single family to a 4-family. Are you just taking the space within the building and converting it into 4 units? If that's so, tell us what the bedroom, how many bedrooms there are and the square footage of each unit.
So each unit are between 1,200 to 1,700 square feet. We increase the size of the building by adding an addition in the back and also extending living space to the basement and adding dormers on the roof. So that's how we increase the square footage of the building. And we have 2 units on the first floor and the basement, and 2 units on the 2nd floor and the 3rd floor. So,
okay, so please talk to us about the basement. Tell us about what the floor to ceiling height is, and tell us about what the floor to sill height is.
The floor to ceiling in the basement proposed is around 8 feet. We'll achieve that by underpinning the basement foundation wall and bring the floor slab lower to increase the ceiling height to the basement. And also we try to increase the window well for the basement unit so it gets more light and air into the bedrooms in the basement. And we have a full walkout.
So tell us the floor to sill height.
Floor to sill.
Yeah.
It will be less than 44 because of the window well. But
you know what I'm struggling with? I'm really struggling with having this occupancy in the basement because it feels that, you know, you're making a big change from a 1 to a 4. You know, are there bedrooms in the basement?
There is bedrooms in the basement, yes.
Okay, this is what.
Originally,
Go ahead.
Originally, the building was actually a 2-family, and
Yeah.
the previous owner converted that to a 1-family.
No, got it. But then you're trying to convert it to a 4-family. And, you know, it feels like it's very dense with that, you know, and also with the parking situation. So kind of talk us through this. Tell us why and how this works. Tell us, Miss Edwards, can you show us what the basement plan is?
That is the basement plan. There's 4 bedrooms shown in the basement. 2 different units, but
That's
4.
a lot of bedrooms. Okay, can we go to the next floor and just see what's there? So that would be the living space, okay? And then the top 2 units? I mean, the top 2 floors? Okay, got it. And tell us about the attic. What's the floor to ceiling height? Because you're fixing that through the dormers, right? The floor to ceiling height? Okay. And then please tell us which plan we should go to see the parking and how the parking is proposed to work.
So the parking is currently where the existing parkings are, and we divide it into 4 spaces. So on the right front side of the building, on the side of the building.
Okay. Okay, it feels like this whole project is a little bit dense because you are also providing 4 tandem spaces that come exactly to the property line, which also appears to be in the front yard. And let's see if I'm reading this right. And how are you accommodating your open space?
Open space in the back of the building. We have a courtyard that and stacks in the back, and some of the stacks on the upper floor too. No roof decks. It's just a deck off the side of the building on the upper floors, and we have some shared common space and bike racks in the back.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Robinson, how are the plans?
I think the plans are reflective of the points we've talked about. You know, there is parking shown in the front yard. There is a number of units in the basement. And I think the addition is kind of cutting off the front yard to backyard. So that's what's pushing the parking toward the front. But I think you were, the points you made are salient. It feels a little bit too much for this particular site. So,
Okay,
no question.
Any questions from the board?
What is the curb cut on the street? I don't see the parking working at all. How wide is the curb cut?
It's currently a very big curb cut. It's existing where it is, and It's like, it should be on the site plan. If you go up to the survey, I think we have a survey there.
I
You
mean,
might go up to the site plan.
do the cars go straight out to the street or do they have to maneuver?
I think they have to maneuver a little bit. Just the way the property line is set with the existing plot, there isn't a way that we consider maneuvering the cutting some of the additions as well to maneuver the car, so instead of them backing out into the street. But there isn't a way for us to do it. The only way we can do is just a longer driveway, and we couldn't get the car to turn around in a 3-point, even a 4-point turn. So even now, without addition, we have trouble backing the car and turning it so it drives into the road.
It's a 12 feet 2 curb cut.
This doesn't work.
Yeah, and that's a tough street because you have the ever traffic coming through from the other side, and then the merge from Lincoln Street coming up. So that causes a lot of conflicts. I mean, almost literally where your building is. Okay, is anybody here to speak in support or in opposition of this proposal?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. We'll go on record in support of this proposal. We conducted a butters meeting on March 22nd. There were not serious concerns raised by direct abutters. The applicant did go on to the Alston Civic Association and did not get their approval based off of concerns regarding living space in the basement and tandem parking. We think with the basement, the applicant explained that it was crucial to ensure that these units could be rented at an affordable market rate, which we feel that it's a decent trade-off, and also that it's a walkout basement in the rear.
Well, Connor, has the applicant made a commitment that this is an IDP unit or an affordable unit or anything?
Yeah, so let me clarify. Madam.
Sorry, Connor, I'm also concerned that we would think that we would want to put affordable units in the basement where there is a need for window wells.
Yes, so my apologies, Madam Chair. So let me clarify. So I believe the applicant said they would be renting out units at $1,100 a piece, which is on par with most market older units in the neighborhood.
Thank you.
So not IDP, but affordable in a sense that it would be well below other newer buildings that are coming onto the market.
Thank you. Thank you.
We do have a letter in opposition from the ACA. On the file, we have some letters of support, and we have some letters that are neutral. And we have pictures of the conditions that the ACA sent us of the property now in pretty rough shape.
Mr. Desidora, are you on?
You've been unmuted.
Yes, Madam Chair. Good afternoon. Tony Desidoro, representing the Alston Civic Association. We're in strong opposition to this project. The proponent, over the course of the community review process, received a lot of good feedback from the membership and chose to ignore it. So we're disappointed. As an absentee landlord, their reluctance to address community concerns regarding the use of the property, the design, the density, the lower level living space, and the tandem parking situation, which we don't think supports the 4 units. It's a 4,500 square foot lot. It's in both a 2F5000 and a 3F4000 sub-districts. We did attach some photos to show the basement to grade level. And most importantly, the proponent has done nothing to maintain and secure the property. The property right now is a war zone. You can't even see the front of the building from Everett Street. There's construction material and debris all over the site, a dumpster that isn't secured, and the property is probably not secured either. So we just don't see a commitment to the community that the proponent claims to make, and therefore we're in strong opposition to this project.
Thank you. May I ask that ISD send somebody out to the site so that it doesn't continue to be an eyesore? In the meantime, may I have a motion, please?
Motion for denial.
I'm gonna make a motion
There
to
a
deny.
second? Yeah, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So your project has been denied. Sounds like you need to do some work being a good neighbor. So I'll leave it at that. Next case, please.
Thank you.
Calling case BOA, last case of the day, BOA 1184282, 67 Hopedale Street in Wood 22. Violations of Article 51, Section 8, 2F in a 1F zone. Article 51, Section 9, side yard insufficient. Article 51, Section 9, rear yard is insufficient. Name and address for the record.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. Mark Lacasse Law, 75 Arlington Street in Boston, attorney for the owner applicant, Evan Schwartz, who's also on the call. With us as is the architect, Diane Lim. Madam Chair, we were before the subcommittee on June 17, and not surprisingly, the observations related to the proposed basement living space. So we have submitted revised plans eliminating any use of the basement for living space. So what is being requested today is simply to legalize a long existing two-family use at this property. In 2006, a prior owner was granted a permit to expand the building and effectively created two separate living units. There's two separate kitchens, there's two entrances within the building, and the assessing department started taxing the building as a two-family effective for fiscal year 2008. So it's been taxed as a two-family since 2008.
So please, Counselor, tell us how this two-family works, and the number of bedrooms, the square feet, etc.
So the ground floor unit, which I'll call the first floor, is a self-contained unit, and then the second and third floor is unit number 2. So on the first floor, it's a 2-bedroom apartment, and on the second and third floor there are 4 bedrooms and 2 baths and kitchen, and the proposal also includes the creation of a new egress stair from the upper floor unit, which then implicates our other 2 zoning issues of side yard and rear yard, because the landing for that increases the pre-existing setback requirements on those parts. The square footage.
So yes, please tell me the square footage of the first floor unit.
If Diane Lim, the architect, could pop on and give me that number. I don't seem to see it on the plan. Diane? Or Evan?
I don't know the exact square footage. I can try to look it up really quickly.
And Madam Chair, the other item that changed as a result of the community review process and the abutter meeting is that we initially had proposed paving a portion of the rear yard to add some parking spaces because we thought that would be something that abutters would want. But as it turns out, there are some drainage issues with adjacent properties. So the abutters were asking that we not pave any portion of the rear yard and that we not add any parking spaces in the rear yard. So no request is before you for any additional parking other than the existing driveway on the side of the house, again, in response to requests from abutters.
May I ask, Ms. Edwards, do we have plans for this? Or do you have plans, Mr. Robinson, and are you comfortable with what you're seeing?
So I believe I only have the old plans. I don't have anything new. I'm looking at plans and they're dated 10 of last year, and I think then there's another set in here, but it shows, they all do show a basement unit. It looks used to be the previous layouts and information. So I don't have anything that's updated unless I missed it, but I don't have it in my file.
And Ms. Edwards says that they do not have any plans. Okay,
We
so
did
we're kind of walking blind here, Mr. Lacasse.
We did submit revised plans, and then there was a further request for the certified plot plan to be submitted, which I finally got a hold of yesterday. But if it would assist the board, if we could be deferred to the 9/21, and I could be certain that the revised plans are submitted to the board and Mr. Robinson.
May I have a motion for deferral? Can we have a short deferral on this? Since
I'll make a motion to defer shortly.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Yep.
The date, please?
We can do the 21st.
The 21st at 12:30. Okay? In the meantime, can I just ask all board members to stay on for about
you so
a minute? Okay? So the motion is made, it's been carried. We'll see you on the 9/21 at 12:30. Meeting is now adjourned.
Thank you.